100 subscribers! Holy smokes, I can't thank any of you enough. I know it's something of a small milestone in the grand scheme, but I'm still new at this, I'm still improving, and I can't wait to show all 100 of you and more where I'm taking this channel. It's one of the funnest things I do. I'm so glad it's paying off. Yeah, I can't thank you guys enough. So, to celebrate, I'm going to count down my top 100 movies ever. Please note the date that I uploaded this compared to whenever you're watching this, be it however long amount of time from now, because I'm sure the day after I upload this list is going to change. But maybe I'll revamp it with other milestones in the future. I also want to do top 100 TV shows and video games at some point, but again, with other milestones. This isn't going to be a regular thing, because it's somewhat Herculean. Also, please bear in mind, these are the most unfiltered I could get my opinions, because this is devoted to me, not looking cool, not looking smart, just me celebrating 100 subscribers with a devoted movie to each of you. So I'm not trying to look like any certain kind of kinophile. I wanted just the purest, no matter how guilty a pleasure, the movies I enjoy the most, no matter what weird look I'd get from people. Because I figure 100 subscribers, hey, I've earned it. And there's a million movies I still haven't seen that could totally demolish this list, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this countdown, sit back, and enjoy. I can't think of a single animated film with quite this aesthetic or brand of creativity. I've been to family Christmas parties with more fighting than this. Zingo! This movie made me aspire to be a greaser, and I'm not positive those were ever real. Don't watch this one hungry, you won't find cakes like that in this century. I doubt any historic Greek warrior was as chiseled as Brad Pitt. I see images of this film every time I shut my eyes. The definitive Pixar cry movie, if you ask me. Some stage-to-screen issues are saved by a phenomenal cast. I love my 9 to 5, I love my 9 to 5, I love my 9 to 5. Alfred Molina plotting against a candy shop is way more compelling than I make it sound. Adam West giving his all in his last role, and William Shatner's a great Two-Face. I feel like I was almost tricked into liking this movie so much. Why is there so much to unpack? As someone who went to theater school, it's only this brutal sometimes. You know, there's a whole interesting movie outside the mysterious stranger bit. Every horror movie should have two experts in ties to make things worse. Of course, not even a robot can resist falling in love with Hailee Steinfeld. Just unapologetically weird enough to admire committing to. The distilled essence of manly tears. I quote this movie more than most comedies. You're fond of me, lobster. There's entirely too much going on, but the stuff that works is a home run. Killer Queen! Bites Zadasto! I don't think the penguin was in the script for this movie. I think they just let Danny go nuts. An excellent ensemble set to one of the most visually striking aesthetics ever. The perfect Freddy, a good layer of corniness, and some haunting kills. I actually think they capture the different ways a cable guy can ruin your life really well. Hats off to the brave performers who developed claustrophobia in those suits. Okay, with or without her spoon, this Reese person is exquisite. Just a slightly different cast chemistry would make this movie terrifying, I feel like. My sister played this movie ad nauseum in my developing years, and the damage done was irreversible. The test of a great comic book adaptation, you could fool me into thinking it's just its own thing, because it's so well developed. Don Cheadle is phenomenal, and this just may be his best. To be a sharp-dressed woman in a heist with Anne Hathaway. The best Don Bluth movie, all of his trademarks presented excellently. The quintessential Muppet work, if you ask me, with some of the catchiest songs. I cannot imagine the hand strain of dealing with designs like these in stop motion. This movie's like Red Bull mixed with the classiest Earl Grey, and more Red Bull. I actually love Ron Howard's weird aesthetics, and Jim Carrey is tremendous. I'll never forgive any of you for letting this one flop. Pioneering the cartoon hybrid movie, for better or worse. This movie makes most family dramas piss themselves. I've had existential episodes like this movie. I felt very seen by it. This one terrified me for so many years. I feel like I'm on top of a peak coming to love it. Do you trust me to recommend you this level of personal crisis? I wish I could neuralize myself and experience this franchise for the first time again. A genuinely powerful saga expansion with some incredible set pieces. Stop looking at me! They capture an insane atmosphere with this one of my favorite theater experiences. I like to eat and sing, I should play Mr. Schneebly someday. A Disney movie with everything. Love, action, religious espionage. Genuinely one of the last great slapstick movies, I think. I'm not crying! Way more thoughtful and memorable than the marketing makes it look. The only thing more brilliant than its premise is this cast. That guy in a little coat. I'm still not crying. I'll never drive up to the mountains without fear after watching this one. Marvel should try this whole world-building thing more often. I swear I notice a great directing touch for the first time every time I watch this one. Bill Skarsgård gives maybe one of the most intricate and great horror performances I've ever seen. I'll never stop speaking the gospel of this genuine modern classic of horror comedy. Some of the most memorable imagery in an action movie and one of the best casts to boot. They can be my angel or my devil anytime. Cops don't like me, but this movie's pretty alright. Why is Templeton the Rat one of the best cartoon characters of all time? This one genuinely makes me feel lighter as I watch it. I make a point every year. The perfect Back to the Future adventure, and with Tom Wilson as Biff at his absolute best. I don't need to tell you how quotable this one is. By all accounts, it makes no sense. Your daily serving of Goosebumps, sir. The obnoxious performer in me is spoken to, and the Anna Kendrick fan directly catered. Oh, the Lion King killed a dad. Does it have a set of parents and a baby on its count? High five me if you agree on this one, because Luke sure can't. The smallest gestures of this kid have the weirdest impacts on my brain and wider society. Actually, the rat's name is Ratatouille's monster. I'll never hurt a mouse again, Jesus Christ. Quite honestly, one of the best superhero parodies of all time, and perhaps DreamWorks' narrative peak. Okay, despite it all, you can't deny the charm and sheer societal impact. I watched this movie during pressing life transitions. The puppies bring me comfort, not the relational dread. Another lightning in a bottle case, this movie might just be bizarre if it weren't for such a stellar cast and vision. I can't believe something called The Lego Movie made me sob in the movie theater. Such a cozy movie of great quality and a beautiful creation history and art behind it. I'd say this one is miles ahead of its contemporary Spider-Man movies. Ooh, I'll see myself out. Okay, I get the whole Keanu thing now. I really think this is the modern coming-of-age classic, the new Pretty in Pink or Breakfast Club. It's great. Simultaneously a most honest and fantastical look at the creative progress that's endlessly enthralling. I love pulpy retro X-Men, throw in Rose Byrne, I'm sold. Most kaiju movies get praise from tolerable human interaction, this one thrives on it. This movie brings me almost bizarre joy from the sheer knowledge I'll almost certainly never have as bad a day as this guy does. I think this one is incredibly sweet, well performed, and entirely underrated. There's actually a lot going on here. This Adam Sandler comedy makes most flowery love sonnets look like garbage, fight me. I can't think of a rawer deal. An awful legacy and marketing campaign hides one of the most fun, character-driven comic movies ever. This movie might just be what the inside of my brain looks like, just a bunch of dogs having fun in New York. If Hellboy perfected the comic adaptation via accessibility, I genuinely argue this movie advances it by justifying its own source material. I genuinely can't think of a movie that's made me laugh as much as this one, unfiltered and purely. Yeah, it's a gimme, but it had some genuinely great directing and there's nothing wrong with some chicken soup. If you removed this from my childhood, all that would remain is a very thin and meaningless book. Weird that this arguably defined the perfect and revolutionary comic book movie, and yet it has next to nothing to do with anything recent. Makes you think. I bought a ticket for Anna Kendrick, I stayed in my seat for one of the most characteristic and fun mysteries ever. This movie is pure art. You could remove the dialogue and still have a completely viable story. The sign of a powerful duology is that it feels not like a pair of connected movies, but like a holistic and satisfying experience. This movie is a holiday tradition in my household, and I've had a lot of holidays to brush up on it. It just may have only value to me in that regard, but that's why it's my number one. It means so much to me. Thank you all so much for watching and for being one of my 100 subscribers, hopefully, maybe, if you decide to subscribe or stay subscribed while watching this. I'll have more video essays soon, and here's to 100 more subscribers and 100 after that, and more incredibly long, holistic countdowns to go with it. Hope you all have a great day.